I will show you why some of your prayers have not been answered. Some of the things you seek, you have not been able to lay hold on it. You have not been able, you can even fast for 1,000 days. Nothing has happened. Because the measure of soul travail contained in all those engagements is not even up to 5%. Are you with me now? When I get to my point, you will now see that what I'm trying to say is that in the 1 hour that you prayed, how much of your soul is poured into it? So there are people, that is why you cannot afford to study Bible absent-minded, distracted, pray absent-minded. You cannot. That is even basic level. The mature level is that you pour your soul. Jesus is telling you, the way I am now, the sorrow in my heart is like I'm unto death. I'm at the pains of death, the throes of death, the pangs of death. That's what he's saying. So you that is seeing him might think he's praying, but him knows that he's looking death face to face. Are you with me now? For all the while he knelt down at Gethsemane, he was looking dead face to face. And now he show you in the book of Hebrews. For the scripture says in the book of Hebrews chapter 5, he said that he raised a strong cry to him that is able to what? Save him from death. He said he was hurt in that he feared. He was looking dead face to face. That was his condition. It's you that thought he was praying. He was not praying. There are men that will kneel down and in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, in 1 hour, in 2, in 6 hours, however long they knelt, their soul will be poured into that prayer. And then the Father sitting on the throne will pick it up as a drink offering. When he drinks it, he will be satisfied. I see people praying and fasting. They are just doing it to fulfill all quota, to say you fasted. There is certain levels, there are certain things you can only accomplish with that level of engagement. There are certain places in God you cannot enter with that level of engagement. Are you with me now? There are basic things you can interact with. When God begins to require things, what he requires is in the measure of souls, in the measure of life. Life is poured out. That's how he comes. So you begin to matter to the extent that your life has been poured out as a drink offering. So when people come and say, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me, what is he saying? It is men that have poured their life as it's not a quotation, it's not a Christian creed. There is what we call the Apostolic Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Athanasian Creed. This is not a creed. This is a reality in the spirit that a man indeed can pour out his life. And then when God picks it up, he drinks it, and then he's satisfied with the quota of your soul that is poured. Are you with me now? These are men that God cannot look away from what they are doing. He can't look away. The Bible spoke about Jesus. He said that he was hurt in that he feared. Such is the heart of man. Such is the place that you enter in God. Then your engagement will be that which God himself cannot deny. How much of your soul is poured into your prayer? How much? How much? His soul was so poured out in his prayer, as we are going to read here, that even his body cannot contain the reaction that is taking place in his soul. Are you with me? There is a reaction taking place inside it. Even him, there is no human words for him to communicate the reaction that takes place inside of the chamber of his soul when he began to pray, when he began to engage the immortal dimensions of him. When men begin to pray and engage God in such realm and in such dimension, then there is nothing in the natural world that can contain the density and intensity of your engagement. It's not possible. In fact, the scripture said that the sweat coming out of his body is like the thickness of blood. It is not biologically possible. Meanwhile, a man that his soul has been poured out is not aware of the biological reactions, things happening to his body. Such a man, I know a man once, and he prayed until the muscles of his body tore into pieces, and he was not aware. Jesus stared death face to face, and he said, I am sorrowful unto death. You can't come to that place and not turn the eyes of the one that sits upon the throne. This is the things that turn his heart. When he begins to look upon our engagements, our fasting, our searching, our seeking, he will begin to measure how much of our life and soul has been poured into it as a drink offering. It's possible you have presented to him drink offering, but he has not come in such a measure, in such a quota, that he is satisfied with what you are doing. If he is satisfied, then there will be triggers and reactions from heaven. He said when he drank it, he was satisfied. It is that satisfaction that God gets from our engagement, our interaction. That is what we seek. That is why we come. Whenever we come, we shift our gaze, we shift our gear, we engage the high realms of God. The desire, the import, the pursuit, the target is that we get to that place where our soul is poured out like a drink offering. Why have you not poured your soul? My soul is exceeding sorrowful. My soul is exceeding sorrowful. My soul is exceeding sorrowful. We see believers that walk around with levity. The scripture spoke about men that wrestle things out of the heart of God, out of the hand of Satan. He said that they strove even to the shedding of blood. They were willing to go any length for what they want. That's why some of us engage prayer and fasting. By the time I'm entering, I've decided that it's you that you say, let me fast 21 days, let me fast 3 days, and then no, there is no end to the fasting. You need to define the target. Have you even, what do you want? What do you want? Is when you define what you want, you will now know that it takes a level of soul travail. Your soul poured out like a drink offering. Then the man you are pouring it out will drink it. When he's satisfied, I will show you what will happen when God's heart is satisfied. Only you can satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my heart. Satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. Hey. Only you can satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Men that understand this mystery pour out their soul anytime they talk. When your soul is poured like a drink offering, even when you want to communicate with unbelievers, what you will notice is that your heart is pumped full with the compassion of God. In that state, there is no unbeliever that will hear your words and refuse it, because you are filled with the travail. Your soul has become a theater where God can display his motions. The posture that you have taken is a representation of that which is happening in the heavenlies. It seems as if God has taken possession of your heart. Men cannot understand the posture you have taken. Sometimes we bend our knees because that is the posture that the soul travail have taken. Sometimes we crawl. Sometimes we groan because that's the posture that soul travail has taken. We are not trying to show off, my friend. Something has possessed us, and it's such that is bringing us to the frontiers of death. Jesus said, I am exceeding sorrowful unto death. That is the testimony of men that have poured out their life as a drink offering. These are men, and only them alone can satisfy what is in the heart of God. I am drunk with the burden of God now. I'm drunk with burden. I'm drunk with burden. I'm literally drunk with the burden of God. My friends, you can be drunk with that burden, my friends. You can be drunk with that burden. Only you can satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. Only you can satisfy my soul. Amen. Susa City Kibaba Peko Takabahatia Abreko Talita Mana Hasita Mana Ebete Kutamantai Risusu Sadabare Sukabate Lete Susana Mahadito Rendi Siveketalila Elefuru Susala Bahata Sadire Vere Susana Maha. Thus said the Lord, if you will pour out your life, I will give you everything that you seek. If you will pour out your life like a drink offering, I will give you everything that you seek. Lord, give me you.